Turn me up a bit. Good look.
All right. Listen, follow me on Instagram at Lean Andrews. Follow me on Instagram at Lean Andrews. I was about to say at leanandrews.com. My fault.
Man, this
My
is
spelling
how is that next flight to California? Smoking on the soda motor, not push off the corner.
At Lean Andrews. Salutations and greetings, grand risings, grand afternoon, grand evening, whenever you decide to check out this particular video. And if you're probably watching this video, that means you've also watched some of my other videos, and I just want to thank you first and foremost for your views, for your time. You know, I know we got a lot going on, so for people to just take a time out of their day to, you know, listen to what I gotta say, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you. I appreciate it. And for all of those who are watching and don't like, or watching and, you know, you share it to clown me or whatever have you, I thank you too, because still that's extra views. Anyway, let's get down to what we need to get down to. Funny quote I was thinking of. If Jesus died on the cross, what makes you Negroes think he likes, appreciates, and acknowledges your rosary or your crosses? And it was so convicting because I got a cross on my neck right now. Very interesting thought. Another interesting thought. The world's energy is shifting. A lot of women were quote unquote thoughts and hoes. Now they're bosses, models, boutique owners. A lot of men were bosses. Now they are simps, betas, pedophiles, and emasculated. Just a couple thoughts to think about. Maybe raise the skin on the back of your neck or the hairs on the back of your neck. But I really want to talk to us all about the convenience culture. I have a couple categories where I'm going to just break it down and then we're going to go from there. So, ultimately, convenience culture, what is it? I deem the convenience culture as a system or a systemic way in which we have now not figured out, but figured in and bought in to convenience. Instead of taking the long road, we want to take the quick road. You know what I mean? People, they're working twice as hard, quadruple times as hard for their 15 seconds of fame versus, you know, their 15 years of a career. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the idea. I'm not talking about people. Most of my videos are not talking about people. Bad bitch theory, real niggas. That's an idea. You know what I mean? Washing up or not washing up is an idea. And some of those things I'll be talking about today. So first and foremost, the first particular category that deems itself to the convenience culture is food and health. Food and health. Simply put, GMO, processed food, fake food. Subways just got caught. One of the Subways just got caught. They were selling tuna sandwiches with no DNA of tuna in it. And I'm sure they're not the only one. You know what I mean? Everybody is trying to move the dial faster. You get what I'm saying? So now we have, you know, vegan burgers, and now we have meat replacements. We have 3D meat, where they could literally draw the fibers of the meat and make 3D versions of a burger. You get what I'm saying? All types of things are going on for them to create smoothies. It's more processed and pureed already at places like a Panera Bread or places like a McDonald's. You go and get a smoothie from there, it's just puree. It's not even like real fruit broken down in front of you, sort of like a Smoothie King or something like that. So food and health has created such a convenience culture. The fast food, where people could literally get a full meal, burger, some fries, and some fruit cup, burger, fries, and a drink, whatever have you, in less than 5 minutes, in less than 3 minutes. Now, all of us know how long it really takes to cook a burger at home. So it's very interesting to me that we've created this culture where even what we put in our mouth is convenience. And I wouldn't even say irony, but I'm going to use that word. The irony of the convenience is, in the long term, it fucks you up. Fucks you up. Think about it. Think about the diabetes in certain communities and certain ethnicities. Think about the sickle cell trait. Think about, heart disease. Think about obesity. Because we can get access to food so fast, so quickly, it's blowing us up. In the long term, we're dying, we're living shorter lives because of this convenient culture within the food and health industry. Same thing with the vaccines. Everybody's going crazy, everybody's going nuts. Should I take the jab? Shouldn't I take the jab? It's interesting to me that literally a man-made disease was made in 2019. By the end of 2019, that man-made disease has spread across 5 different countries. Outside of China, Japan, Italy, New Zealand, Australia, United States. It just starts spreading, right? Then all of a sudden we have a shutdown, right? Then all of a sudden, boom, we have this magical vaccine, or vaccine 2, vaccine 3, vaccine 4. Now we got all of these different versions of vaccines from different companies, and people are just running around like chickens with their head cut off, or people are just running around like facts with no head, opinions. So ultimately, again, the convenience culture has allowed us to ingest and consume drugs that, in the long term, food is a drug, just so you know. We're ingesting these drugs in the long term that kills us. Whereas most of us, back in the day, it was comfortable to say I have 100 years as a human. Now we damn near have 60% of that. 60 years is damn near our life expectancy for men and women because of the convenience culture. We've put ourselves in a situation where now the GMO food and the processed food is fucking up our hormones, is messing up our brain capacity and our ability. It's messing up our moods, which in turn segues us to the convenience culture of relationships, dating, and love. What's the convenient part of that, Troy? Well, the simps. Those who have money and they know that women are gold digging, or women are putting certain types of pressure on men to pay their bills, pay their rent, pay for the Birkin bag, pay for the car note, all those different things. So the dudes who are well off and have a lot of money, that's convenient for them. That's easy. You know what I mean? So they can get any woman they want as long as they know that they have the money. They could tap dance on a woman's soul, on her moods, and they can have the favorable outcome that they want. But ultimately, all that does is create more distance. It creates a bigger gap where it's no longer about love. Damn sure sometimes it's not even about lust. It's about material things. It's about convenience. It's about being able to not work but have everything paid for. You know what I mean? On the other side, with the gold diggers, the convenience of just waking up knowing I could just be beautiful. You feel me? I could be a stripper, make my money like that, but then a dude will come in and he'll throw 40,000 on me because I look good. You feel me? I don't need to have an education. I don't need to bring anything to the table but my looks. So that's ultimately where our relationship, dating, and love is gone. It's based on what you can do for me, not what I can give to you. Convenience. So everybody's out here looking for not a person, not a soul, not a spirit, not a heart, not unconditional love. People are really roaming around here on conditional love, or really conditional lust and benefit. So it's not that I want to be with a person, I want to be with a beneficiary. I want to be with somebody that I can benefit from. You feel me? So you got a lot of people, let's say for the high value men, NBA players and the rich CEOs and stuff like that, it's almost like they're not even dealing with women on the true relationship, long-term, unconditional love, on to marriage and the rest of our lives type of way. It's all about how you look under my arms. It's all about if you're a trophy. You know what I mean? So that's created this convenience where there's no more relationships really. There's no more friendships really. You know what I mean? Like, and you notice it on Instagram, whereas a lot of women are just adorning themselves naturally in nudity, and at the same token, they're presenting themselves, right, leaving no imagination. So men, we dive in, right? You dive into the DMs or whatever like that, and the girl is telling you, "Ew, get out of my DM, ew, F out of here," whatever. You feel me? It's almost like women are validating women now on social media. They don't even want the guy's opinion. They don't want our sweet nothings. They don't want our compliments and nothing. It's just like women competing against women. And in the background, men are just competing over the bag. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't even like real friendships. Homies ain't going into business no more or whatever like that. Based on the trends that's happening right now, I could get a homie to stack crates and watch me fall on my fucking neck, damn near crack my skull, before I could get a homie to come on board and stack this bread with me. Come on board, learn how to train. Come on board, learn how to video edit. Come on board, learn how to get behind the camera and produce some type of content. Dudes ain't interested in that no more. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying, where friendships, relationships is damn near non-existent. Everybody is doing it based on their benefit. Dudes that you grew up with in the sandbox is hating on you now. Chicks that grew up with you in kindergarten hating on you now. Versus conjoining with you to add to the forward movement of not only the community, but of ourselves. Another convenient culture that has been created for centuries, religion and consciousness. For those in my community, for those that look like me, you were given a God that does not look like you. And you took that God for what he was, wholesale, and you never researched the dynamic of how the Buddhists have a leader that looks like them. The Jews have a leader that looks like them. And when I say Buddhists, let me not say it like that. Let me revert that. Let me say Asians have a religious leader or divine entity that looks like them. Yes? Jews, same thing. A divine leader that looks like them. Yes? Also, you have white folks. Their divine leader looks like them. But then they took that divine white leader in convenience and lorded it over slaves, our black folk. And we took that divine leader by wholesale. We never researched our connection to divinity. Where is the divine leader that looks like me and that looks like you and others of us who share the same complexion as me? This is not like a racial shot at anybody. It's just a realization of how convenient the culture has created certain things. Think about how many sectors alone of Christianity it is. If you don't know, I'll tell you. There are over 3,500 versions of Christianity. From Northern Baptist to Southern Baptist. You have Episcopalian. You have Catholic. You have Church of God in Christ. You have Church of Christ. You have Christ's Church. You see what I'm saying? And it's like everybody's fighting. You can't worship God with music in the church. You can't worship God with instrumental music. You're only supposed to sing in church. One cup theory. When you pass around to break bread. Some churches only use one cup. Everybody sips from that one cup of representative blood, which is wine or grape juice. Should we use real wine? Should we use grape juice? Do you really want people in the church house getting drunk off of wine? So many different things that we're fighting. Was Jesus God? Jehovah's Witnesses. The Trinity itself. And it's not really written in the Bible as the word Trinity. It's more triune, Triune. You You get what I'm saying? So everybody's fighting over religion and consciousness. And it's very interesting to me that the moment you're in a congregation, let's say you're a leader, you have a following, you're a deacon or some sort in one of these gatherings, and the moment you have a fallout with the elder, you take the people who follow you, the 20 people, the 30 people who follow you, you take them and you create a whole nother storefront, or you hold the church in a gymnasium, or you hold the church in a hotel room, or you hold the church in a banquet center. Like, it's so convenient to say, oh, I don't agree with you, I don't agree with your doctrine, I'm gonna go this way. That convenience has watered down religion. It has watered down the power of divinity. People are not meditating anymore. People are not tapping into their higher self. And then you have a lot of these conscious brothers and sisters who really are manipulating people. They've practiced their story. They've practiced their structure and infrastructure so much. They've delivered it to you. And now you just accept it, because of the convenience of not having to go and do your own homework and do your own research. But ultimately, you got to think, if you don't have your own vertical connection with what's going on now in your higher self, then you'll have a lot of trouble horizontally with the people that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So again, religion and consciousness is convenient. People don't even want to acknowledge God anymore. You know what they rather do? Go get some sage, go get some Santos, go get some incense. Clear the energy in their home, clear the energy in their car, clear the energy of themselves. I'm not judging. I'm only making assessments of the convenience. You know, then you have those people who they don't recognize God. They just recognize astrology. The moon this, and the eclipse that, and Aries this, and Virgo's that, and Capricorn's this. We're all over the place because of the convenient culture. If you get enough steam, if you build a big enough following, you literally can create your own sense of religion or your own patterns and practices of acknowledging the divine. Another part of the convenience culture: business and consumerism. To the community of those, again, that look like me. Why do we shun the black businesses so much? But McDonald's could get your order wrong 2-3 times in a row and you'll still circle back to that drive-thru. No problems, no issues. The security guards at Walmart can profile you and let 3 or 4 white people, or 3 or 4 Asian people, or 3 or 4 of whatever race go by you, but they'll stop you as a black man and ask to see your receipt. No? Well, that happened to me yesterday at Costco's. And I politely turned to that white man and told him, the next time I come in here, and if you do that again, I'm going to have a lot to say to you. And I might want your job, because I saw what you did. But I'm going to let you ride today. But the next time I come in this place and I see you let one of your fellow brothers and sisters walk straight out, and then when you get to me, you stop me, or you get to another black man and you stop him to see his receipt, if I see it, I'm going to check you on it. Because that's convenient. You feel me? To profile somebody. But again, I go back. Don't want to digress. I feel like black people have the biggest boycott that's still sustained, maintained, and still going on this day. What is that boycott? No, I'm not talking about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and them boycotting. I'm talking about how black people literally boycott their own black businesses. Do you know how much the black dollar is worth? Trillions. But do you know how long that dollar circulates in a black community? 6 minutes. Other races, 7 hours, 10 hours, 21 hours. So we're not even circulating money, because what I'm noticing is there's this stigma of bad customer service with black businesses. No, it's just the trend has literally overtaken you and caused you to necessarily judge, prejudge, undervalue your own people. Your own people. Asians don't do that to one another. White folks don't do that to one another. Latino ex-Americans, they don't do that to one another. They build one another up. Some coaches, it could be 5 or 6, 7 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. So they're making sure they have way more than the overhead. Coming together, conjoining together. But in business and consumerism, you have black folk, African American folk, their dollar is the most powerful. But how many black businesses are literally like Amazon, Alibaba? You know what I mean? How many? How many? Every time a black man stands up to try to do something new, like a Umar Johnson, for example, it was almost like people expected the school not to work. So they immediately got ready, got their ammo ready for it not working, versus offering their talents, offering their treasures. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's right or wrong because it's been a super delay, but what I am saying is very seldom do we give each other the benefit of the doubt. And it's so convenient to say, I'm not going to go to Ray J's Crab Shack. I'm going to go to Red Lobster. You know what I'm saying? It's so convenient to say, I'm not going to go to Walter's discount store. I'm going to go to Walmart. It's so convenient because we have failed to see that people are people. See, what we do is try to make it seem like bad customer service from a white person is different from bad customer service from a black person. Or bad customer service from an Asian woman is different than a bad customer service from a Spanish woman. No, bad customer service is bad customer service. And that's where I'm saying the convenience, the convenience, the convenience. Because all of our lives, mostly, we've been purchasing from other cultures, right? Even though those cultures purchase within themselves, in their own community, we purchase outside of our community because we've been doing it for so long. And because we've been doing it for so long, it's convenient. We don't want to have to wait an extra day for that black business boutique to send that new outfit. You don't want to wait. You know what I mean? Or if they say 7 to 10 business days and it shows up on the 10th day or the 11th day, you're going to Yelp or you're going on Google to make a comment about that business to say that they're not good or they're shipping and handling and this, that, and the third. Every little thing, tit for tat. It's almost like the black businesses have to be perfect in order for them to literally shine and grow. The convenient culture. The convenient culture. Instead of spending that extra 5 or 10 minutes with that black business, we rather say fuck it and go and spend our money where it's convenient. You dig? But my thing is, when you go and spend that money and Amazon messes up, we're right back on Amazon to shop for some more stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the worst thing is a phone call and we'll cuss the customer service agent out, but automatically, after we hang up the phone, we're going to reorder and use that coupon that they offered us. But if the black business did the same thing, you probably wouldn't even use the coupon. You probably wouldn't even order. You keep your money. You see? The convenience culture. Last but not least, hygiene and self-care. We're going through an epidemic right now. Everybody wants the Brazilian butt lift and the Brazilian breast lift surgeries, but they won't tell you how long it takes for someone to recover from that type of surgery. They won't tell you the ratio of women dying. 1 in every 2,500 women are dying because of these BBLs and these surgeries, these cosmetic surgeries. So ultimately, we don't talk about how the convenience of self-care can be detrimental to you long term. All of these women are getting the BBLs or whatever like that so they can impress people on social media, so they can fit in on TikTok, so that their OnlyFans can pop. Now you got to change your dynamic. OnlyFans, you know, their market for that type of stuff is closed. And it's very convenient to be a person who's on social media comparing yourself to all of these people. You don't have as many followers, you don't have as many views. So it's very convenient now to take $5,000, go in somebody's garage and get your fucking ass implanted with air or whatever like that. But ultimately, you don't talk about the thrombosis that happens in your leg, the blood clotting that happens in your leg. We don't talk about those cases of the women who got the BBL, but it was a bullshit surgery, so they had to get their leg amputated. We're not talking about these things. We're only talking about the convenience in the great side of it. We're not talking about the horrors of it. Same thing with the hygiene. Now there's this big trend whether we should shower or whether we should not shower. A lot of our favorite actors and actresses have come out lately and talked about how they don't shower. How, you know, they take bird baths and all of that. Ultimately, the convenience culture is killing us. It's watering down everything that was built before we got here. All of the foundations that we've learned, all of them weren't good. Some of them traditional, antiquated, but some of them are mainstays forever and ever. There are some people who are dying to take a shower, dying to take a bath. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have the means to do so. Then there are people on the other end who they are just dying for attention. They're dying to be liked. They're dying to be validated. They're dying to be recognized. So they immediately go towards cosmetic surgery because they see that's blown up certain people. So ultimately, between food and health, between relationships, dating and love, between religion and consciousness, between business and consumerism, between hygiene and self-care, we've created a convenience culture that has now debilitated us of our intelligence. It's debilitated us of our logic. It's debilitated us of our common sense. And now it's just like the wild, wild west out here. Literally. The Western Hemisphere is just going crazy. It's like every man for themselves. Whatever is convenient to that particular individual, that is what's going to sell, or that's what's going to be sought after. And the point of this video for me is trying to get us to understand that we need to create or recreate a place where there's not much pressure on being in a rush. Like everybody's in a rush. Everybody's in a rush. That doesn't help us open up the blessings and the blessings that were given to us from the universe, that were given to us from God, that were given to us from the higher power. This convenience culture is making us convenient robots. Literally. We're robotic. Everybody's taking the easy route. Everybody's taking the fast route. Do you know how many freaking podcasters there are now who literally don't have their own content? They're literally making money off of talking about other people. Boom. Video goes up. People are not coming to you like I am with the full-on idea and thought. The convenience culture. Not once have I talked about one individual. I'm talking about an idea that literally summarizes, encompasses everyone. The convenience culture. Think about how long your relationships are lasting. Think about how much fast food you eat and how many times a day do you eat this fast food rather than eating one great home-cooked meal. Think about religion and consciousness and how you don't even study anymore. You don't study and crack open your Bible. You don't study anymore. You don't crack open the Bible yourself. You conveniently wait for Tuesday or Wednesday to come around for Bible class night, or Sunday for the 2 hours to roll around for your preacher and for the people of God singing or whatever like that. What about what you do in your spare time? What about what research you give? What about the type of meditation and consciousness that you have with the vertical? Business and consumerism. Are you just taking your money, per se, and buying out of convenience? Because that's the new thing. Amazon is perfect for that. You buy something, you click it, literally 3 hours later, it's at your door. Convenience. Convenience. So we won't purchase the black-owned business or the Asian-owned business or the Latino X business boutique stuff or whatever have you, because it may take 7 to 14 business days. We'll go and buy something from Amazon because it'll get to us faster. It doesn't matter if the quality of this business is better. What matters is the convenience that Amazon is going to send me something as quick as I want it. Like that. Convenience. So, last but not least, hygiene. Self-care. If you have the means to bathe, I think you should bathe. Out of respect to the people you have to come encounter with. You got to hug people. This is COVID-19, COVID-20, COVID-21, COVID-22, Delta variant. All of these type of times, germs and everything, people wearing masks, all this type of things. Like, it's even alarming to me, like you really had to tell people to wash their hands, wash their face, stuff like that. But this is before COVID, during COVID, right? But now after COVID's kind of wear down a little bit, people are a lot more freer, the world just opened back up a little bit. Now we're having debates on whether people should take a shower or not, when just a year ago, we were talking about how people need to be washing their hands. They need to wash their bodies. They need to make sure that, you know, they clean up all the areas around them, the germs and stuff like that. Now you got people putting up videos. They go in the grocery stores. They're licking the handles on the doors of the grocery store. You know, they're licking fruit just to prove a point of convenience. You feel me? Oh, I could just lick this cucumber right here. Ain't nothing's gonna happen to me. See, I'm COVID free, whoop-de-whoop. Everything is about convenience. And we're getting to a point where we're so watered down that we're not even viable anymore. Tesla is coming out with a robonoid, or a robotic version of a human being, to make life more convenient. You feel me? When a lot of people lost their jobs during COVID or whatever like that, a lot of people didn't get back in the workforce. They filed for unemployment. Convenience. You know what I'm saying? All of these trends. Remember the ALS trend? When they had the people sit down and they poured like a whole cold bucket of water on top of your head. Like, I feel like what Lou Gehrig, it was the Lou Gehrig disease. Lou Gehrig had to be rolling over in his grave, like literally. Imagine if Murderers Row and the boys in the clubhouse, Murderers Row was the name of the team that Lou Gehrig played for, the Yankees. Imagine if they were in the clubhouse and while he was going through his disease or whatever like that, they took a bucket, a Gatorade bucket of ice cold water and poured it on him. That will only make him feel worse. And that was something I was telling people, like, y'all gotta understand, some of these challenges are not even created by the people who do them the most conveniently. Some of these challenges are created as a ploy to see how stupid people are. Literally. So the ALS challenge, the bucket challenge, that was a slavery tactic. That was a legit slavery tactic. Give you an example. Let's say Harriet Tubman had 10 guys. She was planning on taking those 10 guys to freedom. One guy fell, he got left behind. The masters caught him. The masters would take him, strap him to a chair, fill up 2 big ass barrels, crude oil barrels, with cold ice water. And they would put it on a lever above his head. Every time they asked him a question in interrogation form, and he would lie or he wouldn't tell the truth, they let the barrel turn over on top of his head. This was a drowning tactic. This is a tactic to put water in your lungs to make you so cold and shivery to where it was just naturally you just told because you didn't want to go through it. This was a torture tactic. The ALS challenge originated from a torture tactic. Torture tactic. Whether you believe me or not, that's on you. New Jim Crow. Think about back in the day when the slaves, when they used to cook in pits in the ground. Sticks across the pit. Right? With the pig or whatever they were cooking, you know, they put the stick through whatever animal that they were cooking, right? Now, think about the lynch parties. The lynch parties to create heat, right? The masters used to put coal and then boom, they fire it up and now you got this like walk of fire. They had slaves walk across these coals just like we're walking over these crates till they fell down, burned themselves to death, or maybe some of them passed through, right? But they were just passing through to get grabbed and hung and noosed on a tree. So ultimately, you got to think about some of these things we're doing, and you can sit there and be like, oh, he thinking too deep and this, oh, it ain't that serious. Exactly. That's the convenient attitude. Instead of doing research, trying to research what I'm saying, you're gonna write it off because you don't want to feel used or stupid or invalidated or illogical. But honestly, that's what we keep doing. We keep doing these things and we keep repeating it repetitively, cyclically. Like, you do your own research. Don't let this convenience culture put you in a situation where you out here doing things that in the long term will cut your life short, will cut your brain short. We don't read anymore. Why? It only takes a minute to read a page in any book. A minute or 2 minutes. We don't even read anymore. Convenience culture. People want the information. People want to be smart, but they don't want to work for it. They don't want to read for the information. And I'm going to leave you with this. If you want to hide something from somebody, put it in a book. This is Lean, speaking on the convenience culture. I hope something in this video helped you and blessed you. Love and power, encourage, nourishment. Remember, the truth ain't always rosy, and I'm out.
Say what you will, but we don't know the haters. No. Number one shooters for shots, you lame chasers. You ghost-written rappers and your ghost-written acts blend into my realism until Casper get back. Where your backwood, roll this bud, take this sack. After the first metaphor, smoke and roll all of that. Cause this gon' take a while. Matter of fact, take a minute. My flow division champ, but my words no pennant. No penship, so don't let your pen trip. Banana peel bars, watch my flow step and slip in. I'm not a marshal for judgments, just a vision. Talk like the class clown, a musical nimwit. I'm not finished. They talking motherfuckers and they leave a talk. Martin Luther Jr., leave a walk. Obama speech, deliver great thoughts. Cold ass rappers get stuck with a torch. Poppy Lean hustle for money like it's out of bounds.